want to thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Out the Chair Podcast. We got a special guest on here, Big Boss Energy, paid in private, Katrina.
What's up, y'all? I missed y'all. It's been too long. We're gonna get on my
All right.
more, y'all.
It's been too long.
Before we get to this conversation today, I just want to check with y'all and see where y'all head is at and see where y'all mental health is at right now.
So we like to do a scale of 1 to 10. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably say I'm at I'm gonna say 8. And I say a solid 8 because man, hoping, man, somebody crossed this shit out my head. Nah, I'm just playing, but I twisted my ankle. Besides that though, I'm probably about an 8. And like I said from the last episode, man, like with working out and going to the gym and then juicing with Fresh Roots, it just had my body feeling amazing. So shout out to Fresh Roots.
Shout out Fresh Roots.
We gotta get into this Fresh Roots.
Yes.
Okay, get one of them. I'm a transparent person, so I would say right now I'm probably at a solid. I'm just over 5. I would say 6. Got a lot going on. This is my finals week. I'm in my doctoral program, so
Okay.
yeah, I'm about to say I'm good though. I'm really good, but mentally, I'm drained. I'm exhausted.
Yeah, I
I'm tired.
Shit, you doing it though.
It has to get.
D, where you at, D?
My mental probably like right now at I ain't gonna lie, this atmosphere is giving me probably like a 9 right now.
Okay, I'm gonna touch the
feeling good right now.
Rub some of that on me, okay? Wipe me down a little boosty.
I'm in a good mental state right now. I came in, I'm feeling good. I like the atmosphere.
Okay, good.
I'm gonna rub off what you said. I'm probably at about a good solid 8. You know, that I came in. I think it was a Baccarat candle.
Yeah.
The all white kind of just, it got me feeling good.
And speaking about it, she be dogging my ass about my candles, bro.
I do.
Because I always get the main strays.
Yeah, the Walmart
$4 candles.
What's wrong with them Bath and Body Works?
It's nothing. Listen, they used to be 10.
They 20.
They 20. But I do want to mention something before we move on, though. I feel like mental health check-in, especially amongst men, is very serious. I'm very passionate. I'm very serious about that. And I think that it's very important if you not where you want to be. Like I said, I'm at a 6. You around other people that's at a higher mental level than you, because you can touch forces, rub off. They can say something to you to get you where you need to be. It's okay to take a moment and have a day. Nobody is perfect. You can be at 6 and you could be at 9 tomorrow, but it's important to keep people and be surrounded by people that will bring you up and that will pour into you so that you can get back where you need to be. But take a moment. It's only a moment. Don't dwell in it. Have your moment, and then touch shoulders with somebody else, get some good energy, and get back on it.
Yeah. I want to give a testimony to that. A couple days ago, man, I was just going through it for a minute, and my boy Cash pulled up to the crib. We was just having a conversation. Mm-hmm. Certain stuff he had going on that he was telling me about, like, brought me up. Mm-hmm. And I needed that. Like, I told him, like, man, I appreciate that conversation, because little do you know how much that meant to me.
Yeah, because realistically, everybody going through something. I know that it's glamorous online and social media show you all the perfect stuff, but the reality of it is, if you going through something, somebody close to you was going through the same similar thing. So I'm not saying shout out your business to everybody. I'm saying get a trusted few, not like a circle, more like a square. Maybe like a period with me, a little dot, right? Get you somebody that'll pull up on you, that will know you well enough to call you and say, hey, Marv. And he can hear it in your voice. He ain't got to ask nothing. He like, you know what, my homie need me to pull up. I'm just going to pull up on him or whatever, right? Get you somebody that you can really have an intimate conversation with, that you can be vulnerable with. Get that stuff off you. Stop holding that stuff in. Like, we know you strong. We know you had to be a man growing up. But get with one of your other men. Say what you need to say. Get it off you. And get back to the grind. Like for real, though. We gotta find those people. If you don't have those people, pray on it. And go with that gut, that discernment. If they show you something and they not right, that don't mean everybody not right. That means just find you somebody that will pour into you. Don't be a faucet where you just constantly pouring, and then you draining. Mm-hmm. Like when you draining and you empty, It's not good for nobody. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to the men out there that need to actually get more men around you like that. Like, don't have placeholders, like placemats. Like, get you around some men that's gonna hold you accountable. If you ain't doing right, they're gonna say, hey, Mar, that shit went right.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's gonna hold you accountable. So I definitely happy that you said that, because men need to hear that, because men go through so much stuff silently. Women, they emotional. Yeah. They emotional beings. They cry, they do all that. Like, you probably on the court hurt yourself, you like, I'm good. That shit hurt it, dog.
Look, I like how you directing this conversation. I just want to cut into you real quick. Let's talk about like how important it is to not have like too, like, if any, yes men around you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, clearly, like, it ain't too good to have too many yes men around you, because they just gonna, let you do what you do.
So I think that, I'm happy that you say that, because I think that when you look at people, and people in successful positions, if you are the only person eating in your crew, you're not a boss, you a target. I tell people that all the time. You're not a boss. I'm a leader. I don't make followers. I make other leaders. Leaders make other leaders, not followers. I don't say I have followers. I have people that support me. I have people that take their money and their time and buy into me. I don't have nobody that follow me. So I feel like people that have yes men, there's nothing wrong with having people that will say, hey, I'll help you out. Right? But if you got somebody that's infatuated with you, that just want to ride your coattail and do whatever you say, you weak. You corny. Because I feel like it's something within you that has enabled you to be lazy to say, you know what, I'm gonna have him do it. I've seen other people to say, well, I'm just delegating, I'm just knowing who to tell what to. No, I feel like if anybody on my team, I got 20 people, anybody on my team, I will get in here and do it with them. I'm not gonna ask you to do something that I wouldn't do, but I think that it's important to have people that, now I don't want to call them yes man, but people that are passive. How about, can we call them passive?
You can say that.
Because you got aggressive people that's go-getters, that's gonna get up and hustler. Then you got people that say, you know what, I don't really want the attention, I don't really want to do that, I don't want to speak up. So it's important to have passive people on your team, because if everybody's talking, nobody's listening. The passive person is usually somewhere in the corner listening, paying attention, focusing, and then you can say, hey, I missed something, did you catch that? 9 times out of 10, that passive person that's into you and is into your movement, they caught you. But I really honestly agree with what you're saying. And I think that as more men and women too, I think it's more acceptable with women though. Mm-hmm. Because you got, especially in the social media era, right? It's like, I've had so many people DM me, hey, let's go on a girls trip. I'm like, you don't even know my last name. Like, what we doing? Like, I don't know you. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like with men, it's more acceptable because
it's not acceptable.
It's not, okay, it's not acceptable, but the lack of the fathers in the household is prevalent, right? So if you 13 and
I think I get the object of what you're saying though, but
maybe I'm not, because I'm not a man. So my delivery don't take my delivery to heart. It's not okay for you to be a yes man. It's not okay for you to not open, like, no, you got to be a man. No. But I'm saying, we empathize with you. We understand. Right. We understand why you have made the decisions you made based upon your childhood and your upbringing. So if you are a yes man and you didn't have a man or a male figure or a father in the household, and you have taken that role, we not accepting that. We saying we empathize with you. We get around other men. It's going to challenge you and pull you out of that mindset, because it's a mindset, really.
Man, sure. So with you having like that mindset of being a boss, you kind of want to get to the beginning of it. So like, tell us a little bit about like your upbringing and where you came from.
And
help cultivate this mindset.
Okay. I didn't really come from money. I came from nothing. I got it out the mud. I started doing hair at 13 in my grandmother's basement. And I think that came from, I was seeing my grandma, she was getting up, catching 2-3 buses to work. My mom, she was, in and out the streets and stuff like that, for lack of better terms. So It was stuff that I wanted. I like nice things. Like I was tired of catching the bus. I'm like, it's cold. Like I don't want to do this. So I'm like, I need to create something within me. So I was doing my hair, and other people would say, hey, I like how you do hair. Can you do my hair? And I started doing their hair. I'm like, man, I'm making money off of this. So I've always been really smart, excelled. I ended up graduating. So what I did is I enrolled myself in a dual enrollment program in high school to become a licensed cosmetologist. So they had like vocational, Votech or something like that.
Yeah, they don't do that no more, do they?
No, they don't. No.
That's crazy.
No, they took it out to school. So I enrolled there. So I was able to graduate at 16 and I was able to already have my license at that point.
16.
Yeah. What did I do after that? After that, I decided I'm one of them overthinkers, which is a good thing and a bad thing. I'm like, hey, what if I go out and get into a bad car accident? I do hair. Am I not gonna be able to live the life I want to live? So I'm like, I'm gonna go to college. So I went to Western Michigan University, did my undergrad there, did hair up there. I made a lot of money there. I was like, what can I do? I got a 2-bedroom apartment. I did hair out one bedroom, slept in the other bedroom. Graduated from there, and then once I graduated from there, I'm like, man, I hated being in college and not knowing how to do the other race's hair. Because in high school, it's your local school.
Yeah.
So I'm a black girl, black neighborhood. Everybody from my high school was black. When you go to college, it's like you got different races, you got different overseas, different ethnicities. I'm like, they was coming to me and I didn't really know how to do their hair. I'm like, dang, what? Like, what's going on? So I decided I'm gonna go back to another hair school that doesn't do ethnic hair. So I went to Paul Mitchell School in Sterling Heights. So that at that time I became double licensed, and then that's really when I got the traction on my career. Paul Mitchell at that time owned Patron. I'm not sure if he still do, but they own Patron, and I was able to become a platform artist and celebrity stylist. So I got an agent, and the agent managed me. The agent would call me and say, hey, we got different movie contracts and different things for you to do. And I grew and I took off and I moved around there. I stayed in like 11 different cities. So I was moving Chicago, LA, Atlanta, like different stuff. I would see these different luxury places, and I got inspired. I'm like, man, we don't got this in the city.
Yeah.
Like we don't got this in the city. Like, how can I create it? So I remember wanting to come here. I came back. I went to a bank, and I'm like, hey, I need like $1.5 million.
First though, why you say it's so cool? Like, yeah, I just need about 1.
Yeah, I need to hire like $1.5 million. They're like, absolutely not. Like, no, it's not gonna happen. And I'm like, man, I got the money. So they're like, okay, if you could show us the capital. So on $1 million loan, you need 10% equity. It's $100,000. So I was able to show them that. They're like, but show us how you got this money.
Yeah.
Like, we don't see no deposit. Like, show us. So at that point, that's when I learned. I'm like, no, I gotta really get it together. So I went back to school for my master's degree, my master's in business. I had to teach myself business. I don't come from a business acumen. I don't really know nobody, you know what I'm saying? Growing up, all we had was street dudes. That's the motto of getting money. So, but we never saw the back end. I never saw a successful business owner. So I'm like, hey, I'm gonna create one. Went back to school and got my master's in business. After I graduated, I'm like, man, I see what I need to do. I had the 5-year plan. I said, I gotta stop doing hair in order for me to show them that I can do this money thing. I stopped doing hair. I got a job in corporate America making 6 figures at UPS. This was 2014. 5-year plan. I'm gonna save up $20,000 a year for 5 years, and then I'll be good. I did it. 5 years, 2019, got my $100,000 at the bank. Like, what's up? Y'all said y'all was gonna give me the money. They're like, yeah, but it's the pandemic. I'm like, the pandemic? This is my dream. I sacrifice everything. This is my dream. Like, y'all open up the bar. We gonna all like we set off in this month. Like, y'all gonna give me the money. They didn't give it to me. Went around 20 different lenders, 22 different lenders. Actually got another lender. Was about to do the deal. They pulled on the deal at the last minute.
Damn.
I'm like, man, what am I gonna do? Went back to the drawing board. Needless to say, I finally got everything done. It was definitely blood, sweat, and tears. But yeah, that's me. I don't come from nothing. I'm self-taught, self-made. Anything that I want to learn or anything that I want to know, I don't have any.
Can I ask you something? How fast were you hearing back from them banks? Like each time you heard a no, How long did it take?
Oh, it was quick.
Oh, it was quick.
So I also want to motivate people out there, because sometimes that's why people give up, because every time I went to see another bank, they didn't know another bank had told me no. I was doing this thing. They was like, oh, this is, they thought that it was my first time.
They didn't have to like check your credit? Like,
yeah, they do. They definitely check your credit. My credit was straight, but I'm saying, because I'm a black woman, like I fall in that minority, right? So minority business owners right now are up, like they're in high demand. We want minority business owners. So credit is definitely a factor, but I think the passion within you, right? So it doesn't matter if I had the credit. If I would have went in there puffy eyed and 20 other people told me no, and I'm just hoping you give me, I went in there every time energetic. Hey, this is my dream. Like they felt it. They felt it before they see it. I had people like, listen, it started getting to the point that the banks, they already knew. I talked to my other bank homie, sorry, you know what I'm saying? They was coming, I would call them, before I even had you waste your time, I can't do it. But it was back to back. It was back to back. It was almost like everybody in here got a car loan or did something with the car. You know how they submitted it one time and you get 3,000 letters in the mail? It was pretty much like that. After they run your credit, that's like you getting into the door. But once you get in the door, it's like, what's next? Yeah. So the credit run is what gets you into the door. What actually seal a deal is them meeting you in your financials. So I remember when my first business plan was horrible. I had hired somebody, pay somebody $3,000 to do the business plan. It wasn't right. I ended up having to do my own business plan. So my master's in business, even though I'm not gonna say I never used it, but it was good for me because it taught me the business acumen, how to run it and how to do things from the back end to be able, when I'm in there, when you ask him, I know I say it lightly, but $1 million for real is really a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit up here and sugarcoat it. When you asking somebody for $1 million, they want to know everything about you. They want to know projections. When I gave them projections to 2032. And you have to be able to speak to that. Okay, what if this happens? I opened in the middle of a pandemic. They like, wait a minute. Stuff is fault. Like, ain't nobody outside. How you gonna survive? I'm like, I went back to the drawing board. Like, listen, in the 2008 recession, nobody was paying they rent or their mortgages, but they was getting their hair and nails done. Yeah. The beauty, and I don't care what, the beauty industry is gonna always trump. I don't care what we go through. The beauty and barber industry, we're going to trump. People want to feel good. They gonna
pandemic showed us, like,
correct.
Whatever on it.
Correct. They're gonna spend whatever. Prices are up. Like, you gonna come to my house and do it? Like, people risking their lives to have somebody from the outside come do their hair at their house. So that's the case I made, and they like, okay, you done made a plan. We're gonna cut the check or whatever, but it's really within you. So I don't want people to think they gotta get their credit right to get a 750 score and it stop there. You gotta have a certain level of and you have to know your stuff. You have to know it like the back of your hand, because it's up to them to tear it apart. They don't just want to give you the money. It's like earning, right? So I felt like in that moment, the reason that I kept getting up day after day after day after day was because it's so many people like me that stop at number 7, that stop at number 10, right? I wanted to be able to have a story to tell people like, listen, you don't have to come from money to be a millionaire. I mean, we see it with pro athletes and rappers and entertainment, but it's rare that you see until this era where you able to use Instagram to promote yourself. When we was growing up, it was only way, who was getting money? Drug dealers. Yeah. You could be a millionaire off of YouTube, Forex, coaching. Like, we have so many outlets to be a millionaire. We didn't have them back in the day.
It's a lot of options.
Yeah, so many options.
But like, so what you saying, like them checking your credit, like that wasn't like affecting you though on the long run? Like,
it wasn't affecting me. It didn't affect me in the long run simply because it was all for the same thing. So even with credit, and I know credit, but even with cars. So say for instance, you go to this Jefferson Chevrolet right here. Mm-hmm. If they run your credit and they send it to 12 lenders, if you run your credit for the same thing within the same amount of time, like a 3-day window, it's gonna affect it the same because they know you're shopping. They know you're shopping. But if you want to be a smart a smart buyer, what you would do, you shop. Because right now, well, people don't, I think that the culture, we get so desperate. Can you give us the money? Instead of going in there and say, hey, my credit right. this is what I did my research. You need to give me a 3% interest. They're not gonna say we can give you low interest. They're gonna say, hey, there's some money you want 10% interest. Nobody goes back and forth with a negotiation with a bank. Like, no, I'm not paying you 10%. I went to Chase. Chase giving me 7. What can you do?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, okay, we'll give you 3, but they're not coming out the gate working with you.
A lot of people not even knowledgeable or knowing.
Correct. But so that's why I come into play where I want to help people and coach people. To ask Marv anytime. Marv give me a question 2 o'clock in the morning, whatever it is.
But
Whatever it is, because I feel like as men, when you don't have a father, like right now, I got a brother. He just turned 30. He was a part of a popular rap group, out doing whatever, trying to just, be popular, get money. And he did some things. Now he got 26 years in federal prison. When he went up there, the judge was like, you got anything to say before I sentence you? He like, yeah, I ain't had no father in the household. I was just trying to do whatever it took so my mama wouldn't have to work or the lights wouldn't get turned off. That's so much pressure to put on a young man. Like, for you to have to go from being a child to now you taking care of a household at 16, 17. So that's why I'm like, I want to be around more men to help empower them and teach them and really pour into them, so that if you don't have a father, that don't mean you got to go to the street. Let's just think of a plan.
Yeah.
Let's come up with something. You can still be lit. You can still have the jewelry, the cars, the clothes. You ain't got to sell drugs anymore. So many options.
Yeah, and it's like
it's another lane for sure.
Yeah, like I was listening to Dame Dash. One thing he had mentioned was like, with him going through that same exact thing with his mom down at an early age, he felt like he had to take care of himself. So his only outlook was the streets. But once he got a certain mindset to where the people he was hanging around, they started to kill people and this and that, he like, I'm not trying to do that. He kind of shifted his perspective. And I'm learning like life is all about perspectives. To where the same mindset he had and everything that he learned from being in that game, being in the streets, he took that same mindset into business. Like when it comes with integrity, when it comes to being honorable, that same mindset that would have got him killed from being in the streets, he was able to put it in his business. And now he's a millionaire, multi-millionaire.
So what I wanna really touch and dive on and really pull out, I think that every man in this room or every man out there has a great perspective. What get them caught up is the pivot.
What's your name?
Jay-Z.
Elaborate.
The pivot. Being able to be 1 foot in and 1 foot out. It's every street nigga dream to sell drugs and take it to get in the rap industry or do something, but they get caught up.
Yeah.
It's that pivot, right?
Yeah.
That pivot is being around women or men or other people that can really successfully help you transition. That pivot is your breaking point. Because you can sell drugs for 10 years, get the money up, have the money. If you don't make the right pivot out,
No.
you did nothing, right? So I think that it's still not what you know, it's really who you know. It's really who you know. When you think about Jay-Z, he confidently say, hey, I got 3 billionaires that came from up under me. Right? It should really honestly be that way. I feel like we talked about this last time. When men don't have a certain upbringing, whether that's women or men, when they get a girlfriend, they usually latch on, right? Like, okay, can you help me get my credit straight?
Women always do it.
You know what I'm saying? Like even if you really don't want to be with her, you're like, damn, but she gonna be able to do this for me, right? Like you know what I'm saying? It be that pivot.
No.
Because after she done did what she did and you thankful and it's time to go, if you don't make the right move out, it's like, oh, you used me. It's like, we really both benefited, but my emotions wasn't there because you know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's still about that pivot. So I feel like I want to, when I first started out, I was really like impacted and inspiring young women. But then I noticed like every guy I was with, it was like every guy I was with, after they left me, they got married. And I'm like, damn, what is it about me? But what I learned was, and I wasn't bitter at all. What I learned was I was making them men. Credit right, this, that, and the third. So I'm cool with them. So I'm like, hey, let's have a conversation. We broke up. What's over? We cool. You winning. I'm winning. What's up? What happened? They like, every time I felt like I was getting up to your level, you was 10 steps ahead. Every time I feel like I'm reaching you like, you gone, right?
You basically saying you just need to date Jesus.
You feel like you scare a lot of dudes away?
I feel like
Or they're intimidated by your
I do. I feel like I do.
hustle?
Yep, I do feel like I intimidate them, but I feel like there was a point where I'm not gonna say I was cocky. It was a point where it was like I'm not dimming down my light. Like if it's bright in here, you put some sunglasses on. But then as I perfected my spiritual relationship and really honed in with God, it was like you can still be a boss and do that, but you still have to be a lady. So the reality of it was when I was dating these men, they would never feel needed. They're like, what am I here for?
Right.
So now, like, when I do start back dating and stuff again, you can still be a boss. I could still possibly make more than my husband, but I still have to, hey, can you take the trash out? Like, it's certain things that ladies need to do. Like, women have this whole women boss era. I'm with it. The whole independent, I'm cool. But that don't allow you to demoralize a man, to talk down on him, to really make him feel less than. No, you can still be a boss, but be a lady. Right. Move accordingly. Like, you can make more money than him, but that don't mean you got to be like, oh, because I'm paying the bill. Like, tone all that down. Man. Like chill. So I feel like I had to, and that come from me teaching myself. When I've lost so many, and you by yourself, it's like, okay, evaluate what happened. Where did I go wrong? What do I need to change? So I feel like I do. So I intimidate a lot of men for one or two things. And this is me talking to people that I usually like chill, laid back, quiet, just reserved guys. But the guys that talk to me be like ball players, rappers, like flamboyant. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just a chill, private person, right? So when I talk to guys like that, that's reserved, they're like, well, we see you living a certain lifestyle, and I can't maintain that certain type of lifestyle you live in. It's like, but you didn't even give me a chance. I never asked you to maintain my lifestyle. I just ask you to give me stuff that I can't give myself.
Right.
Love me. I can't love me. Like, I can go buy me any Birkin I want. I don't need you to do that. I really need the support when I'm out here coaching and I'm on a panel. I need you when I come to the crib. I need to be myself.
Right. So a lot of men, they try to control women with their money, and you know, by you being in the position you're in, and they can't control you with their money. How does that work out for you?
Whew. So I would be transparent. I had not been dating for the last year because my last relationship was really horrible. I had my ex tear up everything in my house, like everything that I own to my name. I'm at a point now, I do forgive him though. I feel like it wasn't like I cheated on him or anything like that. I feel like mental health and childhood issues. While he was tearing up the stuff, he was just saying like, you let me down like my mama did. You doing my kids like this. Like, it was like a flashback, right? In that moment. So I feel like for me, it puts me in a really crazy position because I felt like the position I'm at now, I felt like if I'm going to date somebody, it wouldn't be nobody new. So I was dating people from my past, like people from the neighborhood that I grew up with, people that saw me go from nothing to something, right? Like, hey, I don't got to explain this to them. They know me, right? Yeah. But also, that's a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? That's a bad thing because you have probably healed, but what if they haven't, right? From whatever childhood issues they have going on. But I definitely feel men, narcissist men, not all men, narcissist men will try to control you with gifts, money, all that different type of stuff. And when you don't do what they say do, it's like pulling it away. I remember when I made it up to when I devoted to myself, like, hey, you know what? This was 2012. I had went like celibate for like 18 months. I wasn't dating anybody.
Damn.
Yeah. No, for real. Listen though. I was to the point where I was like, you know what? I want to make myself a millionaire first. I don't want nobody to say they had any contribution to anything that I had. I want to make myself a millionaire first. I don't want no man to say I was able to give you this or I was able to do this. I'm self-made. I want to make myself and put myself in a position because I was in the in-between spot. I was too far to date the normal guys that I used to date, and I wasn't really leveled up enough to date the guys that I felt like was on my level. So I went back to myself, like, hey, you got to put some work in yourself. And I think that women and men, we need to really evaluate ourselves constantly to really to do that, so that we're not settling. Because we be settling, right? You know what I'm saying? You get the Casamigos in your system, you start texting people that you know wouldn't even have a time of day. You know what I'm saying? So I think that if you in between a rock and a hard place, don't go back to the hard place. Like, just really take the time you need to pour in and elevate yourself. It is hard. Like right now, I'm not dating, and it is so hard because it's like we in the city, right? Like who the city is small, but it's big. Small. Right? And if you don't choose the right person in the crew the first time, you can't double back. You get what I'm saying? Like,
you double back.
You know what I'm saying.
Hold on. Maybe you can't. I'm a different breed. So let's
get into that. Men can. Ladies can't.
Yeah, I mean, it's a mean double standard.
But that's called
it is a
double standard, but I'm okay with it. That's why it's called chess. The queen could do stuff in that game that the king can't.
That's facts.
But like, should a king be doing that though? Is a king really a king if he's doing that?
It depends upon where he at. It depends upon his childhood. You can't get mad at him because he's sleeping with 3,000 women. He looking to be loved and nurtured like he's never had. His mama is dead and nobody never gave that to him. So we have to look at the underlying issues. I'm not making an excuse for men sleeping around or double standards or nothing like that. I'm saying any relationship, whether you're talking to somebody or whatever you're doing, look at their childhood. That's what an unrealistic expectation. You never tell me you love me. He's never had nobody else tell him. Like, his mama never told him that. Why you expecting him to do something he's never had? You don't open my doors. You don't pay for this. You don't do this. You don't do that. I've never been taught that. I've never been shown that. You think because I'm a man and I have a penis that I have to assume responsibility to take out the trash or open the door or live up to society standards. I wasn't taught that. Give me the grace, or just even ask me, hey, I noticed that, my trash, you never really take the trash out. Is there a reason why you don't do that? Oh, my bad. It's not first nature. It's not something I did as a child. I ain't really had chores growing up. I was spoon fed. Like, give a person an opportunity for you jump to the conclusion, right? Like, so I can't say, oh, Marva, he sleep with anything that walks. Whoa. Let's dive into that. Marv, what type of relationship you got with your mama? I don't know my mama. I'm not saying that's your case. No, I don't know my mama, right? Oh, makes sense now. You looking for something, you chasing, it's a high. Yeah. You chasing something. So, you know what I'm saying? When I see girls stripping or doing this and doing that, it's like, why you mad at her? Because she's stripping. That's what she see the rapper girls doing. I went to go mentor some girls. I said, hey, $5,000 scholarship. Tell me what you gonna do with it. I'm gonna get my body done, because if I get my body done, I go get a BBL, I can get a ball player. Like, we don't have that. When I was growing up, I didn't have no one. The only women examples that I had that was bosses was Oprah and Michelle Obama. Yeah. I done had women that was dressing nice, driving G-Wagons, doing this, doing that. They don't see it. They only doing what they see. So that's why, as men, y'all gotta watch what y'all doing too, because other men are taking heed. They really taking heed. I don't feel like it's acceptable, but I feel like before we cast a stone or judge somebody, just get to know a little bit more about them before you make a decision. I want to call it an educated decision. Like, make an educated decision. Give people the benefit of the doubt to understand more about. Even I done got robbed several times. When I went, I wasn't mad at them. I mean, I was mad that they could take my stuff that I worked 10 years for in the drop of a dime, but I wasn't mad at them because it's what he know, right? It's what he know. It's what he know. So I feel like we just got to educate ourselves to just ask more questions. We in this era, we don't ask no questions. Even as men, you dating somebody, it's like, first thing a man say, you want to know something, ask me. Right? But if she don't ask you, you ain't volunteering no information. we have to get better as people about not telling all our business, but just educating people more. So people, it's not like, you know, I don't know, as me and y'all dated women, right? And you got to the end of something and you like, damn, how you get that? Like, how did I gave you that? Like, you feel this, how could you feel that way? And in her mind, it was something that it really wasn't. And you like, what was I doing to make you feel that way, right? And you like, dang, I'm sad that you took it like that. I don't feel how you feel. We've all been there, right? So I think that from the beginning, we need to ask more questions, not be investigative, but just ask more questions.
No, you for sure got to ask more questions. That's one thing, big thing I've been learning. Like,
asking more questions.
Women you dealing with, like you were saying, like not just men, a lot of women, like us, period, we deal with a lot of childhood trauma, and a lot of us are not aware of it.
Yeah.
So it be certain things that people react to, not realizing like, oh, this came from, you know, what I was dealing with as a child. So when I'm dealing with like women and stuff now, being in the dating stage, certain things, if I'm trying to take it to another level with you, I know to ask certain things. Like you say, what's the example I can use when it comes to, say, a woman wants to be in a party scene all the time.
Okay. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with it at all. But that's just not where I'm at now. So when I'm dealing with them and you get to like learn more about their history and their upbringing, it's just certain things I start to see, like, okay, they like the, you know, they're this way and they're looking for validation to other people. So it's like certain questions and stuff.
I mean, don't be like, well, why you party all the time? You met her at the club.
Yeah, exactly.
you get what I'm saying?
I had to learn it.
Like you met her at the club. I feel like I had a conversation with a homeboy of mine. He's like, so, like, where do you meet people at? He's like, if I'm a man, he asking me, like, I'm tired. I'm like, I'm ready to settle down, or I'm ready to just date somebody. Where do I look? He's like, oh, I'm trying to find him at church. I'm like, how?
One of my clients told me today you find them at Target.
Target?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. I'll be at Target.
The Go Crazy package.
And he asked me, he's like, why you say no? I'm like, I'll never date nobody at my church, because if it don't go right, you still gotta go to church. That's like, you know, and unrealistic expectations. You like, oh, they praising God and they doing this. Oh, they this and that. You like,
You see them when they leave church.
hell no, right?
Man.
So, like, I really feel like, I heard that the dating apps, I haven't tried the dating apps yet or whatever. I don't know if I'm gonna try it. I don't know. I'm old school. Nothing against, shout out to whoever doing the dating app. Nothing against that. But I feel like, what happened to word of mouth? What happened to, we ain't in the hookups no more? Like, your friend got a friend.
I think that's the best thing. Because
now you got a reference check. That's like when you go to the deal, they run your credit. Give us 3 references and we got to see your credit score. Y'all should be doing females the same way. Let me see your credit score and let me get 3 references.
You gotta have the right homies though.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a different breed,
You gotta have the right homies though.
You right.
Man.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, that's a.
I got one homie. We get into it because if we go out somewhere, he always like, yeah, they perfect right there. They go too. I'm good, bro. We always get into it.
So let me ask you this. So how you feel about meeting somebody like out? Well, if you out at the club, do guys still holler at girls at the club?
Me, I don't like to.
Go out?
I don't like to because like that's what a lot of guys do. So it's like, damn, what make you different?
Okay.
You saying at the club, just at the club though.
Just out. Like whenever people going out, whenever, just out in the scene.
I feel like the best way to meet somebody is like in person. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like
no loud music, like just something like you could be.
No, if I meet you at the club, then I'm gonna know what type of person you probably is.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's like you
as far as just meeting you in person, like that's the best way to.
Like you said, like at a Target or at the bank or something like that. Just cordial.
Hey,
Okay.
honestly, like the best place where I love to meet people at, because it shows me like certain things, is the gym.
The gym.
Like if I see you in the gym, that shows me like, okay, maybe she in tune with herself.
I work out every day. I don't go to the gym.
See, but it's crazy.
So
bro.
they can exercise.
Look,
I had to
okay.
switch that up.
Look, this is a real fact though.
Okay, let's hear it.
I heard through the grapevine, like women do not like to be talked to at the gym. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
No, I don't.
So I'm
if they in there doing their workout, you know what I'm saying? It's like, let them do their workout. Like, you just gotta.
Yeah.
so peep this out though. I'm gonna give a
It's
story.
down there like the club. Me and the girl at the club.
Yeah.
Like, for real.
That LA Fitness in Southfield, y'all
Say that.
y'all should really start charging a cover to get in there. Like,
Oh, so that's how it is.
Everybody go there.
So
I
look,
heard
at the
it's like a
gym, I know women don't like to be approached at the gym. So like
they
y'all
don't
know
what
me.
they do.
A lot of them don't.
What gym? Because there's different gyms.
I can't name the gym.
It's Equinox. It's different gyms.
I can't name the gym, but I'm at a gym.
I guess everybody at Planet Fitness be bullshit. So you can say, so you can say, hey, look,
Like if
I'm
you willing to spend the 10.
So look, I'm at the gym. I see somebody, I'm like, okay, y'all know my type, light skin. So I see light skin, curly hair. Now it's like we making eye contact, but we
like,
I want to get
Like-
onto that type too. Woo! I'm so happy you said that. Let's get onto that type next.
so I'm looking, and, we making eye contact, but we keep, just
Okay.
looking away.
Okay.
So I'm like, damn, I'm scared as hell. I don't want to approach her and this and that. And I ain't never scared to approach nobody. But it was just different. So I'm like,
Oh,
bet.
shorty bad.
I'm like, bet. I'm about to write a note.
he told me, I ain't never scared about somebody. He told me, this shit different.
Okay.
So I'm like, I'm about to write a note.
I like old fashioned
man-
stuff like that though.
Man, I put on a note. I'm like, damn, what the note say? I'm like, I'm sorry if I approach you the wrong way, but I love the fact that you in the gym. That's showing me that you attuned with yourself.
Okay.
If you open to it, I like to take you out sometime or even work out with you. My number, my Instagram. Walked up, handed her the note. I'm like, here, you can take it, you can read it, throw it up, whatever. Bet, gave her the note.
You did
I'm
the
expecting
note shit.
Nigga, I'm expecting a
Exclusive
text.
free game right there for all
free
y'all
game.
out there.
I'm expecting a text back that same day. I think it was like a Wednesday.
I'd have contacted you 2 weeks later.
Look,
Hi.
I ain't hear
I'd have
shit.
contacted you through email.
I ain't hear shit.
No,
Good day.
wait.
Monday
Hold on,
come.
let's rewind back, because you planned this, bro. You planned.
Yeah,
Ain't
I
nobody bringing no paper and pen pad to the
no,
gym, bro.
I had to go downstairs. I'm like, hey, yeah, y'all gotta,
Okay.
You played it crazy.
Yeah, what's the challenge for
You
him?
was working for that.
So look, I'm waiting, bro. Man, a week went by. I'm like, fuck, man, I gotta go to this gym. I gotta see her again. Like,
was
it's gonna be
awkward,
awkward as
okay.
hell. No, I got a text before I went to the gym. Like, hey, this is such and such. I love your note and this and that. Yeah, I'm open to, going out with you and working
How
out
you
with
feel
you.
about that? She made you wait, cause you Mr. Don't Make Me Wait.
Yeah, that's what got me so in tune, cause it's like different. I ain't used to that.
Okay.
I'll be talking to Cash about it, bro. Like this
Trying to get
girl, I
my
ain't
brother
gonna
on the
lie.
right track.
I ain't gonna lie,
Okay.
she got my.
Okay. I knew your nose was open a little bit. Okay, so I want to hop into this.
Right,
Type.
you said type. Oh, we talked about the type last time.
Oh, let's talk about this type. Because I get into it with all my brothers and all my close male friends. Let's get into this type.
Let's hear
Now, I know a lot of men in great places and high powers, and y'all see them. Dudes doing their thing out here in the industry. You see that wife, you like, bro, what is that? She basic. Don't look like nothing. Don't dress like nothing. But she cooking, she cleaning, she doing whatever, she listening. So what do you do as a man when your type?
Ain't shit.
Yeah, let's get into that type. Like, do
So-
you pivot? Do you sacrifice who you are, like, for the long run, or do you say, you know what, I can mold her? You still at the mold stage, or you?
I feel like I was just
stage?
about to say. I feel like once you get to a certain point, to where, like you say, you like, all right, my life, this shit ain't adding up.
Okay.
Like I'm chasing after this type, but with me chasing after this type, all I'm doing is giving. Like I'm not receiving shit. So with me not receiving stuff, I'm not in the position where I'm at my best. So once you get to a point where you got that maturity and you realize like, okay, I see my type is this what comes with it. Okay, let me go over here to
So you
what's her name
pivoted.
off Shrek, Fiona. Let me pivot over here to Fiona. where she a big girl, she giving everything I need. No, I just playing. I love big girls.
So what you
I
feel?
think it's a mindset thing, man.
A mindset.
I feel like you can mold somebody for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
So wait, what was
It
the
just
two?
depends on what you're trying to mold them from into. You know what I'm saying?
So D,
What was
your
the two
type.
options you say? Mold
So
them or-
So do you? So your type. What if you look at your type and you ain't getting the traction you want at your type? Do you get somebody that's not your type that gives you everything you need, or you get your type and you try to mold them into what you want them to be?
I think that depend on like where you at in life though.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like it
Okay.
just strictly depend on that. Like or just like yeah, I think it depend on that. Like whether you gonna go through with it and sacrifice like your happiness or in
So what's more important
You
though?
should never sacrifice for
Your
real.
type is your type more important? Because I know men are physical. You have to have some type of physical attraction. Like you have to be physically attracted.
Hell yeah.
Men are physical. Women are emotional. Like tell me you love me, this, that, and the third. Men touch me, stroke me, need me, respect me. You know what I'm saying? Because respect is greater than, you know what I'm saying? You know how that go. So what's more important at this point in your like not midlife, but approaching midlife? What's more important? Your type or your future?
With me, I'm getting to a point where my type was important. Now I'm making that pivot to my future is more important. But I still got the faith and the hope
It has to be a balance.
that my
though.
type
Like, you gotta have.
will be my future.
So I really don't want people to really budge on or settle. I say that because I have a lot of close friends that are males that have wives that are not their type or least desirable or wasn't their top pick, but they constantly cheating on them because they constantly
about to bring that
chasing.
up.
You know what I'm saying? They constantly chasing that fix or whatever. Or they got with somebody that wasn't their type and you say, hey, I can mold them into this or I can make them look like this. Like you can't get with somebody and say, hey, I can help her lose 20 pounds or I can take her to the gym. You can do that and that'll last a month, but if it's not in her, it's never going to last. So I definitely think the physical attraction, or it could be really what you physically attracted to, because you got some men that's attracted to young women with aggression. It don't matter what color they is, right? You know what I'm saying? So it really depends on whether it's looks or personality or characteristics, but yeah, for you to be writing notes and stuff, I'm just, yeah. But I want to hop into something that's near and dear to my heart, and that's really like self-care. I know we tapped in earlier and we talked about, where your mental health at and all that stuff like that. But I think that your mental health a part of your mental health comes from what you're doing for yourself and how you're pouring into yourself. And I noticed that men, I have been very passionate about pouring into them to keep themselves up traditionally, right? I feel like women, we're going to get our nails done, our hair done, different stuff like that. I ask a lot of men like, have you ever got your nails done? Have you ever got a pedicure? Have you ever got a massage?
Hold up, first off, why you looking at my nails when you said that? I've been slipping a little
because
bit.
I'm checking for y'all. I'm telling you, I'm checking.
I keep my nails clipped. I don't want that shit to go.
It depends upon what you're doing. If you in a suit and tux every day and that's your swag, you have to do it. You have to do it. Yeah. But I'm saying, take time. Let's talk about that.
What made you passionate about
that?
Within me?
Simply because I feel they weren't taught that. I see a lot of men, like most of them. When I look at the group chat, it's like all dudes and it's me. It's like I'm an honorary dude, like you know
So
what I'm saying? Like why am I here, bro? But it's like, okay, what should I wear with this? Or where can I do that? Or I want to do this for my girl. Where can I do that? Like I'm a resource, and I'm like, wow, men really don't have this resource or whatever. So I became passionate about it because I noticed that I was telling a lot of men that was close to me to tighten up.
Right.
Like tighten up, like even introducing them to like you said, the baccarat candle. Like, there was so many men in the group just wearing the baccarat. I'm like, bro, that don't even go right with your pheromones. Like that ain't for, like that ain't really for you.
Right.
Why you laugh, D?
Everybody trying to wear it. Like,
You get what I'm saying? Like it's a trend. Like, I'm about to get that baccarat. It's like it smells horrible on you though. So I'm passionate about that because men have money. They working hard to better themselves. They just need guidance and direction. So if you got 4 men in the group and one got the baccarat and they like, bro, I'm just putting everybody up on it. Not everybody got the baccarat. Instead of saying, hey, I'm spending a little bit more money on my fragrance and it's doing better for me. I advise you to go do the same. Like go explore. Go to Saks. Get samples, try on whatever. You know what I'm saying? Do your research.
You gotta get that measured.
What's that? Is this unisex or what?
Nah, so it's men. We coming with that unisex next.
It's men. It's like I can't lay next to a dude smelling like this. Let's see. Let me see.
Can you lay next to a dog?
I can't. Only dudes that like dudes would appreciate this. So it smells very well.
So I want to appreciate you, but I wanted to touch on something.
Okay.
I'm my book coming out July 1st.
Shout out to this young man being an author. Let it all
The journey of becoming.
Let it all
So I wanted to speak on something that I wrote about in the book, and it was a chapter on perspectives.
Okay.
So, like, I don't know if a lot of men can relate to this, but with me growing up a certain way and having a certain perspective when it came to women, I always looked at women with one perspective, and that was just sex, no attachments. So when you talked about you being in the group chat with like all men, I think it's so powerful because once I changed my perspective and I started to realize that you could build relationships with women, and most of the time women want good for you. They can help you with everything. Resourceful. Most of the time women are business minded. So when you switch your perspective from just looking at women with sex and start to actually build relationships with them, you get women like you.
I agree.
And good relationships with men to where instead of women being your downfall, it could be the ones that help build you up. Elevation. And it's all perspectives.
I want to tap onto that because I meet so many men that approach me like trying to holler at me. And they always say, they're like, nobody has never told me that. I tell a man in a minute, like, hey, you will get more from me being my friend. Like, I'm not in your life to holler at. Like, I know you was physically attracted to me or you attracted to something about me, but I'm really in your life to help you go to the next level or work on this or do something like that. So I feel like women know their intentions when they first meet you or what they want to do with you or whatever they want to go. And I feel like we have to get better as women at speaking up and saying that. Like, hey, I see you got this, you got that. How can I help you? Or how can we help each other? And I feel like what that is called a purpose partner. I'm in your life for a purpose. We working on purpose together. So if you do videography, I own a salon, I need commercial, hey, what's up? Because what happened is we be physically attracted to a person. Sleep with them is over. Not everything down the drain. Let's think first. Do I get more out of you in the long run by living on purpose with you? Because now we can work together and grow together? Or do I want to just chance it? Honestly, that's why I be single a lot. Because it be something I don't want to chance. Yeah. I don't want to chance certain things. Like, I see you doing this and I see you doing that. And I see how we can help each other and we can help each other grow. I don't want to chance it. So it's not that I don't get successful, dominant men to holler at me. I evaluate it quickly. Hey, how can we help each other? And that right there is a purpose partner. I feel like women and men can be platonic and they can live on purpose together. You don't have to sleep with a girl to feel like, oh, I need you to do this or I need you to do that or whatever. You can make friends with somebody like me, like, hey, sis, what I need to do. Like, my credit ain't right. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. What do I need to do? And you can get that. I feel like women, I got plenty of guys. That's my brother. I call him up, hey, I need this move. I need this. It's a light bulb out. Can you come do that? I don't want to feel like I got to have a man to to change my life up or do manly things. I have built relationship with strong men where I can call you up and say, hey, I need you to do this. And you respect me for saying, you know what, she could be sleeping with anybody to do this. She would, let me help sis out. Yeah. But can you help me out on the back end? I feel like if we identify people that are of opposite sex, that they can be your purpose partner, I think you will go faster in the long run.
Yeah, that's
like get
biggest...
you for real, get you a purpose partner. You out there. We
jeopardize a lot of our relationships.
We do
over nothing.
We do, man. I really hate that that we do that. So if you out there, it's called Purpose Partners. It's a movement that I'm starting. It has to be the opposite sex, and it has to be on purpose. You have to, everything you do is on purpose. Your meetings, the goals, the outline, accountability. I feel like me and him could hold you accountable to the same thing, but you're gonna get greater results when it comes to me because of the way I'm gonna be on you. You're gonna be like, Marv, did you go to the post office to do whatever? He gonna see you a text or whatever. I'm gonna be on your head. Like, what's happening, right? So I feel like that's why purpose partners work when it's of an opposite sex, because it's an unknown accountability there and an unknown respect, right?
I agree, man. I just want to say, like, real quickly, like, because with the young generation, I know sex is like a real big push right now.
Yeah, it's dominant. It's selling.
So, like, I just feel like, man, like, really and truly, like, I agree with both of y'all points. Like, what you said about self-care and then what Marv was saying about, you said, like, you know what I'm saying? Well, both of y'all was kind of saying, like, you could be friends with the opposite sex without, you know, doing anything with them. I just agree with that so much, man, because I feel like, honestly, like, a lot of women that I ran across, like, we end up turning left, and it was because, you know, we did the extra. You know what I'm saying?
Feelings and all that.
And there was a lot of relationships that kind of could have, like, developed, like, way more and been way stronger, probably made me a better man. And this shit didn't, you know, happen because of that. On top of the self-care, I said that in an early episode about how, you know, as men, like, we can learn from women. You know, how y'all, you know, how you said, go get your hair. You said that.
Yeah,
how y'all hair nails done.
I agree, though. I agree. And you can also learn how to love a woman. Like, if you're not dating me and I'm your sis and you asking me questions that you don't know, like, if you don't have nobody like that, you really trial and error.
Right.
Every relationship you get better because it's like, I know what to do in this one because I failed in the last one, right? Let's stop failing. Let's get us a purpose partner and say, sis, this where it went left. Like, this, you know what I'm saying? I need help with that. Like, I asked her to do this. Like, no, that ain't nothing you asked her because y'all not there yet. Ask me. I'm going to help you do that or whatever. I think that when we start asking people stuff for what we need, it's like, well, you with me. You know what I'm saying? Why you not helping me? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, nah, I think that certain people serve in certain people's life differently. And I feel like it, like I told you, it has to be of opposites so we can learn from each other.
For sure.
We really need to learn from each other the perspective, because if you constantly keep dating, you get tired. Like, oh my God, I'm so tired. Instead of you having a couple relationships that went left and then talking to your purpose partner, like throwing it all out, you get somebody that don't want anything from you, that want to tell you the best and can recap what you said. Sometimes, have you ever thought something and then you told somebody else, they told it back? It's like, wow, I never looked at it from that point of view, right? So I think that having a woman's point of view will actually do you well, and it will show you what you need to do to be what you need, right? It's like, okay, I need a woman to do this, that, and the third, but women react off how you do whatever you do. Right. So it's like, if you want a different action from her, you have to create a different action. But if you don't know how to do that from the back end, you'll never get what you need to get. But definitely self-care and purpose partners. Like, you gotta, them two things. Like, it's what we in June? We halfway in, y'all. The next part of the year, we are challenging y'all to get a purpose partner and step up on your self-care. We are actually going to be doing a men's day. It's going to be called the Gentleman's Club. It's going to be invite only. These men are going to invite other men. We're going to come back. We're going to do a podcast. We're going to talk about Self-care, manicures, pedicures, facials, massages. Like, we gonna get into it. We gonna have some cigar. Well, we gonna have a good time. I want men to really be able to experience things that they've never had. Taking care of your skin. That, like, in a minute, I'll be like, you still using bar soap? Like, what's up? like, come on, let me get you some body wash. Like, things that could take you to, this could take you to the next level. I want everybody to be better, not only mentally, but physically.
Yeah.
Like, this podcast, it enriches and it pours into people mentally, but what we doing to help them physically? Like, we need to do something to help them physically, whether that's, you know, financial literacy, self-care. Like, it has to be all together. We have to be more resourceful, and we're gonna start that, and we're gonna pilot that by showing you. We're not gonna talk about something that we're not gonna do. We're gonna sit here and discuss it, get into some controversial conversations, but we're gonna show you how to do it. We're gonna show you what you need to do, how you need to do it, and that comes through application. So we are going to do that. I don't know when. We're going to get together.
Yeah, we going to have a day. We going to have a day coming for y'all soon.
Yeah, we're going to do
be
that.
on the lookout for
We're going to be doing toes up in here, y'all.
I got one last question for you, so we can wrap it up. How you coming with the name? How you coming?
Creme Brulee?
Yeah.
I'm Creme Brulee. I am Creme Brulee. So anybody that knows me or people that don't know me, I'm paid, but I'm private. I'm a very private person. I'm very reserved. But if you ever had Creme Brulee, so Creme Brulee is an Italian dessert. And it's not something that you can just go to anybody's house and make, right? You can go to somebody's house and make biscuits, flour, water, a pan, you can make it. Creme brulee is thought of, it's well calculated because you need a certain type of pan, you need a ramekin pan. Very simple ingredients: milk, cream, sugar, and a blowtorch. I'm creme brulee because after you make the creme brulee and it molds, they take the blowtorch and they fire it. Like, it's a thin, crispy layer on the outside, right? And that's me. I'm thin, crispy on the outside, but then once you dive into me, I'm light, airy, and I'm fluffy, and I'm good to taste.
Where y'all got it, man? Off the chair.
Hold on, I want to show something real quick. I'm about to hobble over here real quick. Hold up.
Oh, my book. Yeah, I got it the last time. I'm fine.
Y'all see it?
Yeah, the B word.
It's a great read. Y'all got to make sure y'all tap into it for sure. We're going to have it.
For sure. It's not what you call it, it's what you answer to. Always remember that.
What B word was they saying?
You got to read it. I'm going to get listening. So that's going to be the challenge. I'm going to give him the book, and then he going to come back and tell you what B word resonated best with him. Both of them.
Yes.
Accountability.
Appreciate your time.
All right, appreciate y'all. Appreciate your big boss energy.